Hi, guys. Today we're going to talk about leveled experiences, okay? Because whenever we write, we know that we have beliefs and experiences that need to be woven together. But there are certain levels to our experiences, and some experiences are a better option for writing about than others. So let's talk about what those look like. Okay, so level one experiences. Sorry, I'm going to move my little picture up here. Level one experiences are things that are everyday things that happen to just about everybody in the same way. We all eat breakfast. We all brush our teeth. We all, get ready for the day. These are the kinds of things that you would tell anybody, right? Oh, I was late today, because I, couldn't drop my kids off quick enough. Things like that. There are probably a lot more interesting to you than they really are to anyone else. It's one of those things where you want to tell people, but it's just really like my day. This is how my day went, or this is something that happened to me. Oh, the dog got out this morning. Okay, these experiences for the reader, for the grader, are boring. I mean, they're too predictable. We've all been there. We've all had to do that. We already kind of know how the story is going to end. So an example of that is here on the pink sticky. It says, it was Christmas morning. We were about to open our presents. It takes a long time. Then we go to mom's house and we eat, and then we all start opening more presents. Most people open presents at Christmas. This isn't anything new or exciting. So level one, happened to most people, kind of boring. Level two experiences are more personal. Oh, I need to move myself again. All right, they're more personal. These things do happen to other people, but they're going to happen differently depending on who you are. Other people may make the volleyball team, but my experience with making the volleyball team might be different than somebody else's. This is something that you would probably only tell your group of friends, right? Like a random stranger doesn't need to know that I did this, or, I'm excited to get my group together to tell them about this thing that happened to me. These things are much more interesting to read because they are not predictable. Yes, I made the volleyball team, but maybe I only made the volleyball team because this other girl got sick right there on the court, right? Ugh. And that's so that's something unusual that doesn't always happen when you're trying out for the volleyball team. That's level two. Level three are very personal. These are the kinds of things that you write about in a journal, or you may only talk about with your best friend. Okay. These are things that, you just don't want everybody to know. This is something you normally tell someone only because you're unhappy and you want some support, or because you're overjoyed, but you can't really tell anybody. It's kind of a secret. It's extremely interesting for the reader, okay, for the grader, because this is a kind of a window into your life and who you are and your personality. And these things are very, very, very courageous when we write them. It takes a lot to tell this kind of story and to expose ourselves with this much honesty. And so they really come across as powerful writing. For example, this blue sticky says, as tears swam down my face, Amazing Grace was playing my head, and I watched in agony as my baby calf coffee was lowered into the ground. My brother stood beside me with his hand on my shoulder, telling me to be strong. Okay, so not everybody feels the same way about, cows as this person. And they obviously had a connection. This does not happen every day. This does not happen to everyone. And it really was impactful, right? There's some emotion in there. So that would be our level three. Level four experiences, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not. Are things that happen in your life that you probably would never talk about. You don't want to talk about them. You would probably never, ever write a word about them in your life. Okay, that's what we would consider level 3. These are our nope topics. We are not talking about that. Okay, so most of us want to shoot for a level 2 or 3. We want it to be interesting. We want the reader to like it. We want there to be emotions. Maybe you're not as courageous as you could be and shoot for the level 3, but that's okay. If we're writing in level 2 and 3 moments, we're doing a good job. So somewhere in your spiral, I want you to give me the alphabet. But notice I skipped X. X is hard. We don't have to do X. But the rest of the alphabet, I'm going to put down, and then I'm going to try and come up with examples or moments that begin with that letter. So, for example, I have a niece named Addison. So, my A could be Addison singing in her first musical. Okay, this is not something that everybody does. And it blew everybody away because we didn't realize how talented she was. So this might be probably a level 2 moment. I wouldn't mind telling a group of friends about this. Then my son Bo, his first trip to Disney World was so magical for him. So I would tell that. For C, me conducting at my first football game, because I was the drum major. That would be a moment in my life I could talk about. My D would be directing an award-winning one-act play. I did that early on in my career. My E could be just early morning fishing trips with the boys. Actually, I'm thinking of one specific early morning fishing trip where my oldest son took off running towards the water because he was so excited, and then he tripped right at the last moment and fell face first into the water. Doesn't happen to everybody. Fishing might happen to everybody, but that specific event, not so much. And then falling for my husband. Lots of people fall in love. But the way my husband and I fell in love was a little bit different. So I would tell that story. I would continue working on the alphabet. And then once you have this alphabet created, screenshot it or submit it through picture or something into Schoology as your attendance piece today. Thank you.